Hello, welcome to paramukti.com. I'm Mara Martins, and I will tell you a little bit today about the history of yoga and of Hatha yoga. Because often when I say I teach yoga, people say, "Oh, really? You teach yoga?" Well, I'm not flexible, and I think, huh? So, postures, the asanas, are the only thing that people relate yoga to. And in this video, I want to make clear that really yoga is much more than just the postures. Yoga is actually one of 6 main schools of Hindu philosophy. And only since 1500 the asanas have been described and have been given names, and only really since the 1900s the importance of asanas has been growing, and only since the 1900s the asanas are taking a much bigger and bigger role in our today's practice. Actually, yoga is a philosophy which is looking at ways, and it's giving practices how to come to realization of what we really are from within, from understanding our deep selves, from understanding ourselves and the universe. And there's many ways how to come to that realization, and only this asanas, the physical postures, is a very small part of it all. Now, within this school, this thought, this philosophy of yoga, there are many branches within it. And you probably have heard of some of them, like Bhakti yoga, Karma yoga, Raja yoga. And I also would like to explain a little bit of the differences between them, because they're often being confused, or they're thought of as being totally different. And there are things that overlap, but there are things that are that they have different views on. So first of all, to make clear, you can choose any path, either Bhakti yoga, Raja yoga, Karma yoga, maybe combine them to come to this true self-realization. In the Bhagavad Gita, it's Krishna himself that says, take any path you take, but do it with total devotion, but you'll come to that point, that same point. If you take from here, you get there, from here, you get there. It doesn't matter. And none of them is better than the other. Now, Bhakti yoga is the path of devotion. In Bhakti yoga, followers of Bhakti yoga path, they create a very personal relationship with the universe, with the essence, which is within you and within me. And they make this essence a god, they personalize it. They often pray or devote themselves to the god in an image. And it can be any image. Some groups follow and devote more to Shiva, others more to Vishnu, or any form of Vishnu like Krishna or Rama. And some follow and devote themselves to the more female goddesses like Kali or Durga. Some scriptures describe practices that would fall within the Bhakti yoga path, like Kirtana, which is singing devotional songs which can get quite ecstatic, or listening to the chanting of holy text or scriptures. It's been said that if you practice Bhakti yoga, or you make Bhakti yoga, or small essences of the Bhakti yoga path, if you integrate this in your life, you'll develop love and faith and tenderness. Another path is the path of Karma yoga. And Karma is often being simplified as whatever you do, you get back. And this is a too simplistic view of what karma is. Now, I could fill hours and hours talking about what karma is, but the main important thing in Karma yoga is that whatever you act or think or want, is that you do this without attaching to the outcome, and also while acting, while thinking, while wanting, being very conscious and being very aware. And the awareness during the act is more important than even the detachment of the outcome. Now, Raja Yoga, which can be translated as royal yoga, is the yoga which has been described by Patanjali in his famous text, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Now, it's a little unknown of who Patanjali really is, because there have been different texts from the author has been said to be Patanjali, but they differ so much in time that no one is really entirely sure about who really is this Patanjali. But now there is more or less agreement about the fact that Patanjali was a scholar, and he'd been studying different yoga texts and probably been practicing, and he wrote down kind of a summary of all that he knew of his knowledge, and he categorized it, and he wrote down 8 paths to come to self-realization, which would involve behavior towards yourself, towards your society, postures, physical postures, the asanas, the breathing techniques, and then several stages of concentration and meditation, and then ending up in the 8th step, samadhi, which is self-realization. Now this is very complete because it doesn't talk only about breathing practices or postures or only meditation. No, it combines all of them. And because it's so complete, it's been named Raja Yoga, or the royal path. But once again, not one or the other is better, and your yoga path can be a combination of some of them and should feel good to you, whereas some can identify easily with nature or the universe and are maybe born in a tradition where there is a strong personal relationship to the universe. They might choose, or not even choose, but they naturally follow the path of devotion, whereas others that are maybe born in a Western family, very intellect and rational, they would be more likely to follow the Raja Yoga path, or maybe even Jnana Yoga path, which is the path of wisdom, which is the path where we reflect upon ourselves, where we self-inquire, or study of the self is most important. An intellectual kind of study of the self. Now in Parimukti, we combine practices, wisdom, teachings from different schools, from both Raja Yoga path, from the Bhakti Yoga, from Karma Yoga. Singing devotional songs and mantras, which are very important to quiet the mind, to decondition the mind, and also for healing different parts of the body, the physical body, but the astral body as well, emotional body and the pranic body. Combined is with Karma Yoga. This is being expressed by giving something back to the community where we are located. And then much of our teaching comes from the Raja Yoga path, a lot of meditation, a lot of breathing practice, and a lot of asana. And all of them combined can help us on this way of self-realization, of understanding what this is, where we are, what is this universe, what are we. And through this teaching, through this experience, finding out what is our purpose, so that we can live more in essence with ourselves, with what our purpose is, with what we are here for. So please visit our website, www.parimukti.com, if you're interested in courses or more teachings or more videos about yoga. And always, you're very welcome to drop a line, a question to the email, to the contact list, and I'll be happy to answer it through one of the videos.